Thomas à Kempis says, "It's not any great thing if a man be devout and fervent when he feeleth no affliction. But if in time of adversity he bear himself patiently, there is hope then of great proficiency in grace." Now, we looked at this before and concluded that it's easy to patiently endure in times of adversity once we know that, far from separating us from God, these things are sent to draw us closer to him. And we mentioned that the steeper the incline of our difficulties, the greater are the rewards for patiently enduring, or being faithful and cheerful during those difficulties. Every act of faith brings the kingdom closer, not only to ourselves, but also globally. We affect all of reality, material and spiritual. Heaven rejoices and demonic forces shudder. Prayers and righteous deeds impact all dimensions. The church age is the age of heroes. Christianity was founded by the greatest of heroes, Jesus of Nazareth, and heroism is at the core of the gospel and at the heart of every Christian. It's occasionally said of a particular officer that his men would follow him everywhere. He inspired courage and self-sacrifice. The same can be said of Christians. It wasn't just a gospel message that convinced us, it was the person of Jesus who won our hearts. It was when the centurion saw how Jesus died that he said, "Surely this man was the Son of God." Mark chapter 15, verse 39. Heroism is noble, and from the cross Jesus showed us that heroism is at the heart of forgiving an enemy. The opposite, to hold grudges, is cowardly at heart. It's heroic to be thinking of others, even whilst we, maybe, are struggling. To give others time and attention when we are being tried. Conversely, it's base and cowardly to be self-absorbed. It doesn't mean we are cowards, but that it's a cowardly act. Noble heroism always alludes to the life of Jesus in some way. Of him, it was said, "No greater love has man than this, that he laid down his life for his friends." John 15, verse 13. Most normal people recognize in the life of Jesus certain fundamental building blocks of the heroic life, which is why Thomas à Kempis entitles his book The Imitation of Christ. It's the imitation of noble heroism. Heroism springs out of vision. Christians don't live by what they see, but by what they don't see, but will see one day when Jesus returns. Until then, they are living heroically. Heroes were made on D-Day, not V-Day, on the day when they invaded Normandy, not on the day of victory. There is a vision-inspired heroism at the heart of all acts of obedience, and danger and struggle are essential elements. There's no heroism without danger and struggle. The martyrs and missionaries of the church come first to mind. But what of us who are not called to walk that road? We too depend upon the vision of Jesus. It's not an optional extra. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29, verse 18. We too must be inspired by the vision of Jesus, whose life was the light of men. Everything he did, as well as everything he said, inspired courage. The entire biblical narrative, culminating in the life of Jesus, beckons us on to discover a glorious country. Tom Hanks, the actor, said, "A hero is somebody who voluntarily walks into the unknown." Well, we Christians have not just walked into the unknown, we've walked into the unknowable. The heart of a Christian is that of a hero. And the source of our heroism is Jesus himself. He laid aside his majesty for tawdry sinners like us. The King's own Son came to rescue the chimney sweeps, not because we would be such an embellishment in heaven, but that he loved us. That was all. His heart was moved with compassion. He was inspired to venture into the unknown and become a man. God had never been a man before. When we crucified him and he prayed for our forgiveness, that alone inspires a sinner to repent and receive new life. And the forgiven sinner goes on to imitate God's heroism in his own life, even in little things, like smiling when you want to weep, or giving encouragement when you feel empty, or just refusing to become bitter and isolated and accusatory. That's a victory. Keeping the right attitude is a victory. Life, light, courage, nobility, these are the things that spring from the heart of Jesus, and that heart is in every follower of Jesus, the heart of a hero. Let us serve the Lord with a generous and cheerful heart.